What if Thor had gone for the head in Infinity War? Let's react to it. His arm is gonna come off immediately.
What if events went differently? What if Thor had aimed for the head in the final battle of Avengers Infinity War? How could the small
I remember I used to think that, like, think about that question so much back in the day, bro. When the movie first came out, like, what if he went for the head?
Universes that had
It would've been crazy.
Thanos. Our MCU timeline was playing out the same. Thanos had defeated Iron Man, Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man alongside of half of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They were defeated and Thanos was given the Time Stone going to the Battle of Wakanda. Wanda had used her powers destroying the Mind Stone with all of her powers, but it wasn't enough. Thanos had used the Time Stone, grabbing the Mind Stone from Vision, ripping it out of his head. He put it on his gauntlet and Thor saw this and he knew Thanos gained all of the stones.
Thought I was hearing something. Bro, yes I did. What are you talking about? I don't care. I don't even lie.
Thor in her new timeline.
Why would you lie like that? I don't even lie.
Quick death like what he did when Thanos choked out Loki. Thor saw his opportunity. Thanos screamed in pain because
Yo, I'm hearing stuff.
As he was about to snap his fingers, but Thor used his axe. It spun around, deflecting all of the power from the Infinity Gauntlet. The axe landed, hitting Thanos in the forehead as blood started going down his face. His eyes rolled back to white as he kneeled to the ground. The gauntlet fell to the ground and Thanos was defeated. Thor was shocked as
he's saying Thanos with a Z. It's weird.
And he couldn't believe
Thanos.
that it was done. Did he really kill the Mad Titan that easily? Black Panther, Captain America, and the other heroes got back up.
Why they got Black Widow looking that bad in a comic book?
Like, he put his hand on Thor's shoulder, smiling, and Black Panther asked Thor, what were they going to do now with the gauntlet? Thor didn't know what to do with the gauntlet, but it had too much power, and it needed to stay away from Earth. It wasn't safe, and he was the only one that could destroy it. He needed to destroy the stones, and if they didn't, it could end up in the wrong hands in the future, and they could be in the same situation. Black Panther asked Thor if they could bring the gauntlet back to the laboratory, and Wanda still needed to find a way to bring Vision back or try and copy his memories. Bruce Banner thought maybe it was possible to bring Vision back, but he wasn't so sure. Thor agreed, and the heroes walked into the laboratory, seeing Shuri on the ground bleeding. She was hit to the ground hard and bleeding out. Black Panther helped her up and explained the war was over. They won. Thor put the gauntlet on the table as Wanda walked in the room with Vision's floating dead body. She wanted him brought back.
Is this actual comics? Is this an actual comic or is this fan made? Does it kind of look fan made, but I might be tripping.
Using robots to study the gauntlet. They looked through the stones trying to find parts of Vision, but it was almost like it was.
Bro, I'm so sick of these
Since the
Twitch bots scamming me, bro. They keep following me, they unfollowing me, like, bro. I went from 20 sub, 25 to 35. I mean, 20 to 1, 25 to 1. I mean, 25 to 19 followers. Let me shut up.
But maybe it was wrong. Doctor Strange used his powers, creating a massive portal on Titan going to Earth. He told Stark and Spider-Man that they needed to find Thanos before he got the other stones, just so they could stand.
Look at Quill saying, did we just lose? Like it wasn't his fault. Ain't nobody forget what he did.
Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and the rest of the heroes walked out of the portal into Wakanda, seeing all the dead aliens on the ground in a massive war, but it was over. Spider-Man asked what happened here, and Tony didn't know what to tell the kid, but he told Peter to calm down. They looked around, walking around Wakanda. They couldn't believe what they saw. Tony saw Thanos dead and yelled to Doctor Strange. They looked to see his body and it wasn't moving. Doctor Strange,
I forgot this a different
to keep their guard up. No one was in sight until they heard something. They didn't know what it was.
Different little timeline this YouTuber created.
Buildings in Wakanda, and it was the laboratory. Thor put his head down, knowing what he needed to do. Shuri and Bruce told Wanda that Vision was gone.
I low-key did forget.
She wasn't able to fully.
Man, he fumbled, bro. He ended up like if I remember correctly, they had Thanos right where they wanted him, right? And this dude was like, you killed Gamora. And then he just messed it up. He messed everything up because he was stalling, trying to talk to Thanos. Like he tried to be on some Naruto shit, some no jutsu shit. But he failed. And then Thanos, beat everybody else.
files, therefore he was
He messed up.
officially dead. Wanda started getting mad as it hit her. She wanted him back no matter what the cost.
All that
Thor
for a
explained
drop
that
of
he could
blood.
save Vision and that the stones were too powerful for
Duh.
anyone to control or analyze. Thor picked up the gauntlet on the table until Wanda's eyes were starting to get red. She told Thor to stand down and to leave the gauntlet on the table. Captain America took her by the shoulder, trying to calm her down, but she let out a massive scream and energy, and it blasted in the room. Black Panther, Bruce Banner, War Machine, and
I can't wait to have another Marvel marathon. I didn't get to finish my last one, but like peak Marvel, bro. When Marvel was at its peak, bro, life was better, bro. Man, I forgot I went to the Pistons game yesterday, let alone that.
The laboratory, the heroes ran to see red energy in the building. Thor couldn't believe his eyes when he saw Star-Lord with Tony Stark and Doctor Strange. He almost had
I gotta sneeze, chat.
Iron Man suited back up, but his suit was weak after he fought Thanos.
It's on the way.
He told Thor what was going on. Thor said that Wanda lost Vision and she's trying to get the gauntlet. Iron Man, after hearing this, zoomed in to the top floor, seeing Captain America being held down by energy. Tony asked Wanda to stop and she could be helped, and she used her powers on Tony's armor.
Wait. It's just hitting me. This whole storyline is just hitting me. Pretty much so far, what he's saying is, if Thor had killed Thanos in Infinity War, Scarlet Witch would have snapped on everybody and just went on some multiverse of madness level shit. That's pretty much what I'm hearing so far. I'm not even gonna get.
And there was a massive energy spike going around, and Doctor Strange knew there wasn't.
Which would make sense.
Left. Wanda was using her powers to suck in energy from the stone, and she was trying to warp reality. Captain America didn't want to hurt her, but he had no choice. He ran in, spearing Wanda off of the building, and they were.
I ain't gonna lie, spearing her off the building is crazy. What was that, Roman Reigns? Goldberg? The spearing her off the building. That's crazy.
Going to try and fix this, but then she screamed and Doctor Strange put a spell on her, but it didn't work. The gauntlet was on the ground and Thor knew that he needed to grab it before something.
Buddy, you're in space. All you got is a rope.
Could be at risk.
That's funny.
Strange tried to see through the future using spells, but he couldn't.
Got YouTube Premium? Hell no. I ain't paying for YouTube Premium just to not get ads. I don't even watch YouTube. Well, nah.
And the other heroes almost knocked out. He picked up the gauntlet and
I was gonna lie and say I don't watch YouTube that much. I do. I just don't care to watch ads. Like when they pop up, I just look away or skip them.
But they were pushed back from Wanda's new abilities as she used her energy. Captain America told Iron Man to hit him with a blast, and his shield created a massive beam, and he pointed it at Wanda.
Yo, I should low-key read my comic after this game. After this stream.
And he could see that the battle was over,
if I feel like it.
Wanda was slowly crawling up. Tony told Wanda he could help her get back Vision, but she didn't believe him. She used energy, fully crushing him, and Thor screamed, kicking her to the ground. She used a massive mega blast, and the gauntlet fell near Thor, but she picked it up. Wanda started using her powers on the gauntlet, seeing that there wasn't many heroes left. Doctor Strange tried
more than just no ads.
Spell, but it didn't work.
What else come with YouTube Premium? I thought that was the whole thing.
Doctor Strange was yelling at
just
Wanda,
got that last night.
To mess with the gauntlet, but a loud echo was heard in the distance as reality started to change in front of Wanda. The gauntlet was gone, and she turned around to see Thanos. He smiled. That his plan worked and that he could change.
He's still here.
However he wanted to, and he still had the gauntlet in his hand. Thanos took her by the neck, choking her to death. Thanos saw Doctor Strange, Tony Stark.
Yo, why Thanos low-key look like I was about to say Stephen A. Smith, Samuel L. Jackson. Just like with purple skin.
But he needed to draw all of the heroes together so he could finish them off in one whole swoop, so none of them could rise.
Swoop is crazy.
He explained that everyone would
I'll explain it later. Alright, baby.
Try to fix what he was about to do, but it wouldn't work. Most of the heroes were already killed by Thanos as he used the Reality Stone. Doctor Strange told Tony and Cap they were going to need to put their differences aside if they had any chances of taking out Thanos. Thanos used the Reality Stone again, showing them what he did, and Thanos smiled, snapping Wanda's neck, throwing her to the ground.
Oh, nah.
Dead Thor and Star-Lord.
Thor died?
Screamed, charging in at Thanos, but Thanos used the Space Stone, teleporting him into space where he froze to death. Thanos snapped his fingers as half of the universe dusted.
Bro, how physically strong? Hold on, how physically strong is Thanos, bro? Cause I ain't gonna lie, he just made Cap look like a bitch. Hold on, cause that's crazy. Some are born with a silver spoon in their mouths, but Thanos was born with a set of super. He's just Hold on. Thanos was born with a set of superpowers instead. As a member of the race of Eternals. Oh, okay. One of the Saturn's moves. He's natural strength. Okay, so he just. But Cap got superpowers too, though. Oh, he said it surpasses. Oh wait, not that. I thought that said surpasses superhuman levels. Okay, that's crazy because like he just had, bro. He's weak without the gauntlet.
I do believe that Wanda would have been evil in this alternate reality, or she would have betrayed the heroes to save Vision, because we don't actually.
But like he just overpowered Cap though. Like that's kind of crazy.
Because she was dusted away. So I do believe that if she wasn't dusted away and there was more time
compared to Hulk. Oh yeah, Hulk be going crazy. Before the nerf, they turned that man into a nerd in Hulk form. Like it's crazy.
All of them together was a great plan to
and he was already like that with Banner.